Let me ask you this question because we didn't really get a chance to talk much about the Lions preseason game. I'm not going back to over all these different things and the quarterback situation. We can talk about that later in the week. But I do want your take on Dominic Lovett and Isaac TeSlaa. Not whether or not they're going to make the team. TeSlaa is going to become, I think, a starter. I've said this for a while. But how you judge rookie wide receivers in what most would consider a meaningless game.
Yeah, it was a meaningless game in terms of score, in terms of first, second team, and all that kind of thing. I did not like the turnovers. I did not like the mistakes. In me, that was a big thing that we said. It doesn't matter who's playing. You still wanted to represent what you are. The Detroit Lions are now one of the best teams in the NFL. I don't care who's out there. I still want it to look like they watch film. I still want it to look like they take it serious. So outside of that, no stake placed in the game. But you talk about Levette. Levette has some skills. Coming out of Georgia, he's a receiver that I paid attention to. He had 2 drops. One was kind of like a 50-50 ball that was taken from him, so you got to make those plays at this level. Another one was just a pure drop. But he has some great route running ability. Let me not say great. We put great on everything. Yeah. We quick to say elite. We're quick to say great. He ran the routes correctly. 100%. He was a good route runner, efficient route runner. He was in the spots he was supposed to be. He had separation that he was supposed to have, so I like that. I think the Lions are in the market for another guy, kind of like an Amon-Ra St. Brown, but that can wiggle a little bit, that can move in and do some things. So it was interesting. I like what I saw. Want to see more. I don't want to see the drops. I don't want to see them happen again. But TeSlaa, as you say, I got it right that time, at least I think. I'm excited to see how he grows because I think they can use some good things with him. He's a big frame. He catches with his hands. I always say that because that's important. You can catch the ball with your hands. You can catch all the other stuff. You can catch when the ball is on your body or when you're in traffic or when you got to go over top of somebody. That's another thing. They don't have that big wide out to go over top. I know Tim Patrick's a taller wide receiver, but we're looking for that guy that can make a play in the crowd. We're looking for that guy that can do something spectacular, but it's not spectacular to him because that's how he's built. And I started to like that, and he finishes the play. Like when you see him in practice, he's catching the pass. He's taking the ball to the end zone. He doesn't care what's going on. If there's some traffic, he's bumping guys, running through guys, and he's finishing at the house. As they used to say. That's good practice because where do we want? We want to be in end zone. And this is a guy that tries to get to the house, and he did that in the game as well. Finished through players. So excited for him. Excited to see. It was game 1, but he's showing up in the games like he's showing up in practice. You see the practice film, you get excited about the practice film. 2 catches, 42 yards. Last time I checked, that's over 20 yards a catch. Those are big plays. That's why they brought him in here.
I like that he relishes blocking downfield, too. If you're going to be a wide receiver on this team, you have to embrace a willingness to block. I mean, you did that in your career. He's a lot like that, at least early on.
You got to love it. I like punishing DBs. I love punishing little safeties. Hell, there's been a couple times I smacked Clay Matthews and a couple of those outside linebackers coming off the edge back when you could do it that way. You got to love it because you know it's a part of the game. Now, you know it's a part of the game. Dave Montgomery will be in there. You will be in short yardage and goal as a big wide receiver. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs, he's going to get his touches this year. Last time I checked, they're talking about him getting more touches. They're going to have you in there. Can you come down in motion and crack out on an outside linebacker? Can you do that? He seems like he wants to do that. He cares to do that. So I like that because those games when you're not getting passes, those games where you're not having, 2 catches, a half, or you get a touchdown or plays are going your way, you got to find a way to stay engaged. Remember the infamous T.O. quote from years ago? T.O. drops a pass on 4th down at the end of the game. I think he was in Dallas. Well, if they would have came to me earlier, I would have gotten to a rhythm. It's not about rhythm. The rhythm is, look, the ball comes when it comes. This is the NFL. And I know he wish he could have that comment back. The ball comes when it comes. And it may not come to you, especially as a rookie, because I got to get Amon-Ra St. Brown 1,400 yards.
Yeah, right.
I have to get Jameson Williams 1,100 yards. I got to get J-Mo. I have to get Sam Laporta. I insert player that is going to get the ball. So when it comes, make plays, much like a young Puka Nacua did, and he kind of saw where that went. I think that's what we hope this is going. He looks like he has the hair. He has the physicality. He has the build. He's a project, if you will. We're all hoping. It's okay to say it out loud. We all want him to be the next Puka Nacua.
Oh, man. Look, at 6'4", 218 pounds, you trade up to get him, and it's a third-round choice. I have said my philosophy has always been this in the NFL. My first, second, and third rounders should be starters. Everybody else, if they're depth or special teams guys, like Dan Jackson's probably out for the year. He was a 7th-round pick out of Georgia as a safety. That stinks. But if I was relying on a 7th-round pick to be really, really good, I could have an issue. Asanim is a guy who is a 6th-round choice. People feel like, well, he's going to really provide a lot. If I'm relying on a 6th-round pick, and I know there are exceptions to the rule, there's a bit of an issue. But the first 3 rounds, those guys should be starters. And I believe Isaac TeSlaa, for what they've invested to get him, will be a starter for this team before all is said and done.
Yeah, look, they moved up. And this is not the first time Brad Holmes has moved up. When he moves up, we pay attention to those moves. Jahmyr Gibb had to work. Jameson Williams had to work. Still hasn't all the way panned out, but it's starting to look like it's panning out. Giovanni Manu, that was another project you did things for. That has to work. Because when these things don't happen, these are things that people can point to, and it's not being petty. It's not pointing to small things. You made a major move that's got to pay off, because what you saw, if you didn't see it the right way, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing? I agree. First round, you better start that year. Second round, you better start before the year's over. And third round, they brought you in to replace a guy that's on his way out. So you better start by the time that next season starts. I agree with you 100%.
Do you think Tim Patrick understands that? With what's going on with TeSlaa?
Understanding it is not the same as not fighting against it.
Or accepting it. Yeah.
100, exactly. He knows what the move is or what the thought process is, but at the end of the day, does that stop the way he prepares? Like, is that going to stop the way he catches on the jug machine after practice, that he pays attention to detail when he gets his opportunity? Because Jared Goff, he found him last year, and they found the rhythm. He replaced Josh Reynolds in that sense with Tim Patrick. So if he's still putting in the work, it comes with the territory. Yeah, I've been on a team, and they draft a young receiver, and you're like, here we go. You know, and you can take it one of 2 ways. You can say, hey, ain't nobody going to take my spot. Guess what? Your spot will get ran, and you will be on the street looking for a job.
And you know what? You know that we all out here in Lions where we're going to overreact or underreact to everything in preseason. Well, Isaac TeSlaa, though, what is it that you're looking forward to seeing in preseason game 2?
I want to start seeing him learn the nuances of being a wide receiver. The same thing we talked about with J-Mo. I want to see the nuances. Like, he didn't get a chance to be a wide out. Can he run a comeback at 18, put his foot in the ground and come back to the sideline? Can he run the dig at 15 to 18 yards and understand what the windows are? Here's cover 2. You can't run that all the way across because here comes the interception. You got to find a window to sit down. If it's man, you got to keep it on the move. Can he run that? Can he adjust and understand, all right, I'm on the inside slot of this. This is a 2-way route. If it's cover 2, I take a 12-yard corner route. If it's not, then I got to run a skinny post on that. Can he understand those concepts? He knows how to be an athlete. He knows how to catch the ball. He knows how to do a lot of little things. We got to dial him into the actual art of being a wide receiver. So that's what I want to see as we get to week 2 of preseason, week 3 of preseason, and then the beginning of the season. Can he start turning that corner and look like he's been coached up? Can he look like he's been working with Amon-Ra St. Brown? Can he look like, you know what, Tim, you better watch your job. Because Tim Patrick is no slouch right now.
Yeah.
He's no slouch
That is great insight, man. Great knowledge. Because I think too many times what we do is we look at wide receivers, and we're like, okay, run the go route.
Yeah.
Run the post.
It's more than just
Run the drag route. No, you've got to recognize how the defense is playing so you and the quarterback are recognizing the same thing to run the proper route and find the proper window for your quarterback to get you the football.
Also, too, is all you're running is a go route. They know that. That's in the scouting report, which means the DB and the secondary, they will sit on that side. They will sit deep. You'll never get the ball there. Now we're wasting plays.
That's why I can't stand the whole, well, Jameson Williams, here's what he provides. You could take the top off that. He's got to be able to do more than just run. Because there's a lot of guys in the history of the sport who have been able to run. But some of the best wide receivers of all time weren't necessarily known for their speed, right? I mean, Jerry Rice is a different category.
Yeah.
Steve Largent wasn't known for his speed. That's for damn sure, right? I mean, there are guys who are just really good wide receivers because they think the game's similar to the guy who's throwing in the football.
100%. But that's work you got to put in. Okay. See, not everybody's willing to put that work in. There are a lot of guys like you're talking about that do a lot better in this NFL than guys that have the ability. Guys that come in with the 4.3 and a 6.3 and the blah, blah, blah. So many people have spent time telling them how great they are. Their guys give to the whatever position you play. You don't put the work in and you get outworked and you get passed by. When you watch film film won't lie to you. Film won't lie to your mind. When you can see that in real time, make adjustments because you've been watching a ton of film. Now it makes Wes Welker that much faster. Now it makes Cooper Kupp that much faster. Now it makes Hines Ward that much faster or in that spot because they know where to be because they're studying with Ben Roethlisberger. They're studying with Matt Stafford. They're studying with the GOAT.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, man. I mean, it's one of those, another thing about football that sometimes we don't always really truly comprehend. And we need a refresher on that from athletes and from people who have done it and lived it like Braylon Edwards.